Well, to preview the weekend's Afcon games with us in studio is SABC Digital News sports producer and analyst Sipho Kekana. Sipho, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thanks for having me, Tumi.
Let's start with the summary of the first round, which were the group stages. What are your sentiments there?
Well, to be looking at the group stages, there are mixed feelings, mixed reactions to the group stages. There are some people who feel that perhaps the tournament is not so African anymore, and I tend to agree with them. Looking at the group stages, there's a lot of direct football, ball spending a lot of time in the air. We don't see those interplay passes, kind of football on the grass, and I think that's actually a very spot-on observation, and it's something that perhaps going forward African teams and African nations need to start paying a lot more attention to and start addressing. I'm hoping that as we go into the knockout stages, it will get better, and that also could be because of the number of foreign coaches that we have in Africa. We had South Africa. Actually, it's very unfortunate that South Africa got knocked out. I think they are one team that played some of the best football in the tournament. Although in glimpses, they were not consistent with it. The goals that South Africa scored came from those beautiful interchanges of passes. So which is actually characteristics of African football, and we are not seeing that at the moment. That's why we have so many draws. Look at the number of goals that we've scored. All the teams that have scored in the group stages, I think it's about 49. Whereas you look at the Asian tournament that is also taking place in Australia, they've scored in the group stages something like about 61. So there's a huge difference, and which means they are playing. They are more attacking. We are in Africa a little bit more defensive, and those are the patterns that are going to play out when we get to the World Cup. Because if already at this level we have those Asian teams playing better football, scoring more goals, come the World Cup, African teams are going to struggle as they did in 2010 and 2014. I'm glad
you also touched on the aspect of, coaches in Africa, knowing that Avram Grant of Ghana is the only local coach from Israel that we have, and the rest we have, a few of Argentine, French and German coaches amongst, those teams that have made it to the quarterfinals. But we're going back to the coach debate here, and what does this say about local football again? Well,
it's important that African coaches develop themselves as well, that they empower themselves, that they become better coaches than they are at the moment. But there's also another phenomenon. Foreign, say European clubs, they look to Africa, they look to get African teams. So in so doing, you have African teams trying to develop players that can fit into the European market. And but if you look at the numbers, say the last 5 Afcon tournaments that we've had, Zambia, I think it's Zambia, the only team that won the Afcon without a local coach, a native coach, an African coach. We've had Egypt win, and I can't remember the other team, but for the only one team out of 5 Afcon. Only once we had in the last 5 Afcons, we've had a foreign coach
in that regard
win the Afcon.
All right, so because we're running out of time, let's just talk about tomorrow's matches. We know Tunisia is facing Ivory Coast, and then it's the Battle of the Congos. We have Congo Brazzaville and the DRC. Very briefly, what are your predictions tomorrow?
Well, first of all, I need to say well done to Claude Leroy of Congo. I think having spent decades in Africa, he's gotten to understand the conditions and the attributes of African players, and it shows everywhere he goes. He succeeds, and he's getting that out of Congo as well. At the moment, they've surprised, they've reached, and I tip them to actually beat the DRC tomorrow.
Okay.
And
Tunisia and Ivory Coast?
Equatorial Guinea. I think they are enjoying the local conditions, and I see them going beyond the quarterfinal stages over Tunisia.
Thank you so much, Sipho Kekana, for your time.
Thanks.
Thank you. All right, that was, of course, our SABC digital news sports producer, Mr. Sipho Kekana, giving us his predictions there for tomorrow.